Welcome to the AMS training series for StreetSaverOnline Target-Driven Scenarios. Before we begin, make sure that your section description, decision trees, M&R treatments, and inspections have been updated, and your budget needs calculation has been calculated. If you have not done so, click on the Budget Needs Calculation icon in the Budgeting module. A window will open where you can enter the interest rate, inflation rate, start year, and number of years for the calculation. Once complete, click on the Calculation button. Let's begin. Click on the Budgeting module. Below you will see various submodules. Click on the Create Target-Driven Scenario. This wizard has 6 steps that you will need to go through before calculating the target-driven scenario. Let's go over the 6 steps. Step 1. Create the scenario name in the description field you desire. Step 2. Review optimal target caps. This step provides the user with a snapshot of what the jurisdiction's network looks like prior to calculation versus optimal. Optimal is generated at the time the needs was calculated. The budget needs calculation determines the amount of funding required to maintain the road network at an optimal level and is based on the agency's M&R decision trees. Step 3. Objective values. This step allows the user to select one of 4 options. The options are Minimum Network Average PCI. This option allows the user to define a targeted overall network PCI level. Minimum Network Average Remaining Service Life. This option allows the user to define and sustain an overall network PCI by defining the minimum number of pavement average remaining service life. A minimum percentage in very good condition. This option allows the user to define what the minimum percentage of pavement network will be in very good condition. For more information, review the PCI breakpoint tutorial. The last option, maximum percentage in poor condition, this option allows the user to define the maximum percentage of the pavement network in poor and very poor condition. Please note, a Use Yearly checkbox option is located at the top right-hand corner of Step 3. By checking this option on, enables the user to customize and define targeted levels annually. By checking this option off, enables the user to define values one time and sustain it for the number of years defined in the needs calculation. In this case, we will select Minimum Network Average PCI, check Use Yearly off, and enter the minimum network average PCI at 76. This is a 2-point PCI increase from this agency's overall network PCI of 74, and this will be sustained for 5 years. Step 4. Weighting factors. As defined by StreetSaver, these values are the ratios of the expected effectiveness for the identified M&R treatment per year of influence and is equivalent to the annual cost per square yard that is calculated for each pavement management section. The management sections are ranked from highest cost effectiveness ratio to lowest and would be selected until the budget defined has been expended. The weighting should normally be a function of traffic. Since this data is not generally available, the weighting is based on functional classification as a surrogate for traffic. As you can see, arterial has the highest priority, followed by collector, residential local, and other. Step 5. Selection criteria. This step allows the user to filter the road network down by clicking on the funnel icon with the lightning bolt. Popular filters are functional classifications, general code, surface types, PCI, etc. In this case, we will not select a criteria. Step 6. Project selection. This step allows the user to select a project that will be calculated as part of this target-driven calculation. For example, if your agency has earmarked street sections for overlay next year, and you want to remove those sections from this report so you can eliminate redundancies, you can create a project selection and add it to this target-driven scenario. Please review the tutorial on project selection. To add a project, simply click on the green icon with the plus sign. You will see available projects to be selected. Take your mouse and click on the right arrow. Make sure it's highlighted. Click Add Select Project to complete this step. When complete, click on Save and Close. Next, you will need to calculate this scenario. By doing so, click on the View Target-Driven Scenario icon. Highlight the scenario you created. Scroll to the bottom left of the window and click on the Calculate button. Make sure your scenario is checked and highlighted. Click OK. When completed, you can preview the sections selected, sections not selected, what the projected PCIs would be if you follow this scenario, the associated costs, what the overall network PCI would be each year, and a quick snapshot comparing your targeted scenario versus what the system needs are. This concludes target-driven scenarios.